Hi everyone! Welcome to another informational video from Dr. Barrow for FCS 100. Today I want to talk about expectations for your first exam and all of our exams really that we have in here, as well as this new option that I've just added for a cumulative final at the end of our quarter. Okay, so what you're going to find very helpful is to make sure you log on to Unit 1 materials, log into Moodle, go to Unit 1 materials, download the study guide for Exam 1, download the sample exam questions document for Exam 1, and also this other new document I've uploaded with regards to the exams in here, all three of our online exams, as well as this cumulative final. Read through all of that, watch this video. Everything, that I'm doing here for you all today with regards to those informational documents as well as this video should be able to answer the questions that you might have with regards to how we're going to proceed in here with exams. But if you still have questions, please do email me at kbarrow@lawtech.edu. Okay, and I of course can answer any questions that you have. My little puppy's here. Hi, babe. All right, so let's get into this. So in this class, you do have to, you do have to take, exams is what's expected if you look at the syllabus, and we have about 300 points allotted for examinations in this class. How you get those 300 points though is now up to you because I've added this new option. All right. And before I kind of, get into that, let me just talk about some of the logistics for the exam 1. All right. If you are planning on taking exam 1, which I'm assuming most of you are probably assuming you're going to take exam 1, but although, when I talk about this cumulative option, you might not, and that's totally fine. What you're going to find really helpful is just downloading that study guide, and making sure you're following through with answering all the questions on there, filling out the definitions for the various concepts that I'm asking you all about, the various topics. There's example exam questions on the study guide, as well as in that entirely separate document that's just a bunch of exam question possibilities. Fill those out. That's going to be extremely helpful for you. That document that's the example of various exam questions are sample exam questions I've collected over the years from teaching this class. So I usually ask students to submit, sample exam questions for me. And that's just various questions your fellow students have submitted over the years, and they do appear on the exam. So you're going to find it very useful to study those. Okay. In addition to, of course, downloading the study guide and answering the questions on those, downloading the sample exam questions, you're going to find it very useful to make sure that you're going back and you're reading through chapters 1 through 4 in your textbook, as well as going back and reviewing your chapter quizzes. When you click back into the chapter quizzes, you will see feedback offered on each of those. So go ahead and do that. Going back and looking through all the PowerPoints, going back and looking through the exit slips and the activities that we've done for this first unit. I'm going to pull questions from all of those things. Okay. About 20% of the exam questions will come directly from the textbook. So you will want to make sure that you've read through those. So it's about 10 questions roughly on a 50 question exam that will come straight from your text. The other 80% of the questions, roughly 40, will be pulled from PowerPoints, pulled from exit slip activity 1 and 2, and so on. Okay. My fear is that a lot of you are going to try to take the easy way out of this and think that that's going to be a success. And I want to strongly discourage you from doing that. What do I mean? I mean that I fear a lot of people are not really going to study for this, which just makes me sad. Like, why would you do that? I'm uploading all of this helpful stuff for you. Please utilize it and prepare yourself for when you go in on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. and click begin attempt, on exam 1. It's just going to be so helpful to have actually studied and prepared for this like you were going to be walking into Adams Hall on Thursday to take a paper-based exam. The fear is that you won't study, you won't fill out the study guide, look at the sample exam questions, and you're gonna believe that it's gonna be totally fine to sit down at your computer and click begin exam and think that as the questions come up, you can just feverishly scan through all the documents in front of you, your 500 screens you have open, Googling, I don't know how, I don't wanna know, you know, how you do things. But that's not going to yield great results. It never has, and it's not going to now, okay? If you are totally fine getting like a C-, D, or F, sure, do it, fine. But if you really want to actually do well and succeed and go for an A or a B, then yes, make sure you start studying, you know, that you've looked through those documents and you've done your due diligence. You will be fine. You will do well on the exam. If you want to set yourself up for failure, then don't study and just think you can, you know, get by. Okay, so my 2 cents on all that. Okay, anything else? Let me see my notes. I think that you know is it when it comes to preparing for exam 1. Other thing to note, I think that you will find very helpful, is that it's not like your chapter quizzes as far as how I've set it up. It's on your chapter quizzes, you know that you can't bounce around from the questions. You can't go from question 2 to question 4, back from question 5 to question 1. You can't do that, but you will be able to do that on your exams, okay? You're gonna have, like I said, about 50 questions roughly, and you'll be able to go around and bounce around and go back and forth and all those kinds of things, okay? And you know, you'll have 90 minutes, you'll have that timing kind of counting down, and then at 11:30, it's due. So it doesn't matter where you are with the quiz. It doesn't matter when you log on to take it. Everybody's quiz will close and shut down at 11:30. So just make sure you know that when you log on to take it, that you only have from 10 a.m. to 11:30 to complete the quiz, to complete the exam. Okay, that's it. This other option that I now want to kind of talk about is this cumulative option that I've added. And the reason that I've added this is to alleviate stress I think that we're all feeling when it comes to the hassles and difficulties surrounding technology and just personal issues that we're facing. So there are 300 points, you know, total for exams in this class, and you get to choose how you want those 300 points, how you want to attempt to get those 300 points. My suggestion is just to kind of go through and take each exam, you know, for each unit. It's just going to be easier for you to do it that way because each unit exam is going to be, what, 4 chapters, roughly 4 or 5 chapters. And you'll probably just do better, you know, because you'll have less to kind of study for. But the cumulative option will come at the very end. It will come at the end of May. Check those documents I've uploaded to see that date. And it will cover all 13 chapters. So you will have a lot to be accountable for that cumulative. And I get that some people just might want to do that, and that's totally fine. I mean, whatever you want to do, I'm putting that option out there for you that you can take the cumulative. But there's some wiggle room with this, okay? So you have the option, as noted in that document on Moodle, is you have the option of just not taking any of the exams, okay? You don't have to take any of the 3 unit exams, and instead you can just take that cumulative final for 300 points. That's fine, whatever, cool, right? But you also have the option of opting out of some exams and taking the cumulative. Here's what I mean by that. So this is listed again in the document, but I'm also gonna clarify here. So let's say, for example, you do log on and you take the exam 1, but you decide that you don't want to take exam 2 and you don't want to take exam 3. That's fine. So you take exam 1, you get whatever points you get on that, and then you would take the cumulative in lieu of exam 2 and 3. And you would take the cumulative for 200 points because you missed those 200 points from exam 2 and exam 3. You can take exam 2 and you can take exam 3 and miss out on exam 1 and take the cumulative for just 100 points. It's totally fine. You can do whatever you want to do as far as if you want to just take maybe exam 1 and exam 3 and miss exam 2 for whatever reason, take the cumulative to substitute for that. That's totally fine. You know, you decide how you want to get those points. I think it's obviously, again, it's going to be, my opinion is going to be really much easier if you just take all 3 exams. It's going to be much easier if you maybe just take exam 1 and then exam 2 and you take the cumulative. That might actually be really easier than logging on and taking exam 3 potentially, because the cumulative is going to cover everything. So if you've taken exam 1 and exam 2, you've already gonna probably, it's just gonna be review for you almost, because you maybe have seen some of those questions pop up on exam 1 or exam 2. So in a way, it could actually be maybe easier. I don't know. It's up to you guys what you want to do on that. Psychologically, this is why this is here, so just to kind of give you, again, some kind of just like, feel better about the fact that, you might be experiencing technology issues, or you just might not feel mentally prepared for whatever reason. And just know that you have the option of opting out of 1, 2, or all of the exams and doing a cumulative in place of that. Here's what you can't do though, and here's what needs to be very crystal clear about what you cannot do in this class when it comes to the online exams and the cumulative. You cannot log on, take exam 1, get a 64 on it, email me crying that you got a 64 and asking if you can now take the cumulative, and whatever grade you get in the cumulative, can I substitute for whatever grade I got on exam 1? No, you cannot. Absolutely not. If you log in and you hit begin attempt on that exam, you are committing yourself for whatever comes next. Know that. So what that means is you are rolling the dice, and that's fine. I mean, some of you, I think the majority of you are totally going to be fine with rolling the dice. But when you click begin attempt, that means you have to actually take the exam, and you're held accountable from that point on. We can get on Moodle, you guys. I can see all your activity reports. I know what you're doing. I can see where you go, where you navigate to, how long you're staying on, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So you begin attempt. Let's say you have technology issues happen halfway through the exam. Let's say your mom calls you. Let's say your dog's barking. I don't know, okay, that's what happens. You're gonna have to then just end up with whatever you end up with. You will not be allowed to email me complaining that something happened while you were taking your exam. Okay, that's not allowed. I know that we're all under stress and pressure, trust me. Okay, I know. And that's why I'm putting this option out there for you, to say, hey, maybe you just understand and realize that in your situation, you don't want to roll the dice right now. You don't want to log in and take it because your internet has been spotty, or because you're taking care of your grandma, or whatever. And you want to hold off for a cumulative. That's totally fine. Also, may I say, for the cumulative, you will have to log in and take it, all at the same time, or I will allow paper-based options that I can mail to you if you are worried and still, having technology issues at the end of May, whenever this cumulative is going to be. Okay, so please know that we do have that. I will make sure that option is available. I don't know how we're gonna mail stuff to you, but I will figure it out if I have anybody who would really just wants that option because they're just very terrified of technology or whatever, you're having issues. Okay, so just please 1,000 times over, know that if you are beginning an attempt on an exam and you've opened it up, that's it. Okay, if it crashes, if something goes wrong, you can't come to me. Right? You can't. There's only 2 really acceptable things that I will take, and that is that there's an entire Moodle crash, and we get those reports if that happens. Obviously, if there's a Moodle crash, all of you will be affected, and then we'll figure that out if that happens. Or you have some kind of medical emergency or health emergency that you can verify via appropriate documentation, as denoted in the syllabus under the exit slip / attendance policy. So please read that over. I have very, very strict guidelines for making up an exam. Okay, so let's say you do want to take exam 1, exam 2, and exam 3, but for whatever reason, when exam 2 comes around, you're really sick, you're in the hospital, I don't know, something happens, and you're like, no, Dr. Barr, I really do want to take exam 2. I'm so sorry, I've been sick. You would just have to, again, fill out all the appropriate documentation, get all that to me. Again, read the syllabus for all that information, email me if you have questions, and then I can allow a makeup for a particular exam. It will be an all essay exam though. So just note that in your brain. All right. Otherwise, you know, if you just miss the exam and you miss the exam, maybe you just instead of giving me all the documentation for a health excuse or what have you, you just do the cumulative. You know, you have that option as well. But I get if you don't want to do the cumulative, if it scares you because it is 13 chapters. I get that, you know, but everyone has their own way that they want to tackle this. That's why I just want to put the option out there. Okay. I know we're very stressed and I'm very overwhelmed with all the emails I get, you know, from you all. Please keep sending them. I want you to send them to me. I want to know what's going on. But it doesn't take away the fact that it's overwhelming for me or it's overwhelming for you. Okay. But I do want to make sure that I have in place some strict guidelines and some semblance of sanity for us as we move forward, especially with online examinations. Okay. I think that's it as far as my rambling on your exams. If you have any further questions or need clarifications, do make sure you're reading all the documents I've mentioned 1,000 times already in this video, and watch this video again. Hopefully I haven't confused you more. Oh, I'm tired. But still, you can message me if you do need further clarification. Don't write comments below in YouTube or anything like that. Message me at kbarrow@latech.edu and I will help you out. Okay? So I hope you feel a little bit better now about the online exams and about what we have coming up in this class and the options that I am laying out for you all. Alrighty, please take care. I did upload another video today about mental health and relationships and Netflix. It's kind of all over the place. It's a hodgepodge of just me wanting to check in with you all, but please watch that. There's some good information in there, I think. Or if you just want to feel less alone and just want to listen to me ramble or talk about Netflix or something, go ahead and do that. I appreciate all of you and your hard work so far. Please stay safe and stay sane as well, okay? Take care, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.